Hi, my friends. It's Bridget here again. I am going to make a cute little pillow today. I just took a circle of my thermolam plus. It's a 10-inch circle. Just took a bowl, made a circle. And I have some fun scraps of my Liberty. Now, these are not my strips. These are some other scraps I've collected over the years, and they're just random sizes of things. And people have given me some of these too. So everyone knows I love Liberty. So some of my friends have had little scraps left over and they've shared them with me. So that's my bundle here. I am going to try to come up with a cute little scrappy fun little pattern here. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do. I'm just going to see how I like it and just go with the flow and just enjoy. Today, I am not going to use my organza, though I love my organza covering all of my scrappy projects. I still love it. But this I was looking at the other day, and this is my little sewing kit, my little hussif. And I love how the texture of just the plain cotton is really nice. And I thought, for a pillow, that's going to be fine. I'm going to either have this on a little love seat in my home or maybe on my bed. And I wanted to make myself a little keepsake because this is my 100th long form video that I'm doing. And that is absolutely crazy to me that I had 100 ideas of things I could share. So pretty excited. And I want something to enjoy and celebrate my little anniversary here. And I thought a pillow would be adorable. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to fill it with the scrap. This is scrap from my skirt making. I do a rolled hem on my skirts with my serger. So it's a very rolled hem or a lettuce edge. And so I always end up with these little strips at the end. And I've been saving them. I have a few bags of it. And I just thought I'd stuff the pillow with that. So it's going to be an all over scrappy extravaganza. So I'm pretty excited about that. And I am going to use my scraps, as I said, and then I'm going to iron and adhere my little scraps. I will iron them down. And the thermolam, again, is a fleece adhesive stabilizer. It's great. I have a whole roll of it, and I love it. This piece is a little defective, but I don't think it's going to be a problem. I want to use it anyway. And then once I iron all my pieces down and get them adhered, I want to take them to my sewing machine. I'm just going to do my free motion across the top of it, and just like I did on this, and just make a little swirly pattern just to tack everything down. So it's going to be a pillow and it's going to sit. I'm not planning on getting rough and crazy with it. So I think it'll be fine without the organza on the top. And then I'll just be able to use my little scraps here. Not my little scraps. There's a whole huge pile of scraps here. So I'm awfully excited that you're here and joining me. I will do the timestamps. I will bring you over to the sewing machine and you can watch me swirl around if you choose to. You can skip it. I'm just really happy that I can enjoy this milestone, and a lot of you are why this is because you encourage me to keep going and give me feedback, and it's truly a joy, and I feel blessed to have it. So thanks again, and let's get started. That stitching was a whole lot of fun. I definitely had some trouble at the beginning. I still wanted to use this. Oh, not that one. I wanted to use this little foot. I don't know why I want to use this foot, but I do. And so it wasn't working. And I went back to my other foot here, my other free motion foot that goes up and down, and I could just really rock and roll then. So that was great. So I have my two little circles, and I'm going to go over and give them another press, another good press. And then I'm going to trim up the edges on the back just so I can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to clip them together. And then I'm going to come over and I am going to put my walking foot on my machine here. I have a walking foot. So I am going to put the walking foot on here and raise my feed dogs again. And then I'm just going to go around and create a seam with an opening so that I can stuff my little pillow. And I will be able to do that, and I'll take you back over when I do the stuffing, and we'll see how that goes. I sewed all around the outside of my circle, and I gave myself an opening that I can get my hand in and turn this around. I actually did my little trick of sewing into the seam allowance here. I'm not sure if you can see that. And this will help me create my nice clean seam at the end when I'm either going to hand stitch it or machine stitch it. I haven't decided yet. We'll have to see. But this little trick really helps out. You'll see. So now I am going to use my pinking shears and try not to cut into my seam allowance. Just give myself, here we go. Now I'm going to turn my little pillow the right side out. I think I'm going to need to press again. Maybe not. I can just use my fingers and do a little hand press. Oh, it's a cute little pillow. And I marked the center. I'm going to try to put a button on this, I decided. How fun would that be? So now I need to stuff my little pillow. And I think these seams will work themselves out over time. I'm not going to worry about pressing it right now. Just running my finger through the seam. Oh, that seems to be doing just what I wanted to. Oh, it's very cute. It's adorable. Be fun to make a big one. I don't know why I always either want to make everything really big or really small. I'm not sure what that's about, but that's fun. And then I'm going to be able to tuck this in on itself after I stuff. I think I might just take it to the machine. That certainly would be the easiest way. But let's see how that goes. And as I said, I marked the center. I want to try to put a couple buttons on. So let me stuff this and we'll go from there. I didn't want to stuff this too much because I want it to be a little plushy. I don't want it to be hard. So I'm going to go over to my machine and work this seam together. I have my walking foot on. I thought about doing the ladder stitch, but I want to see if I can do it with my walking foot. It's quite a few ply because it's the Thermolam Plus, but I want to see if I can do it, and I can always go and do the ladder stitch if I feel like it. So let me go do that, and I'll be right back. My walking foot went through all the ply really well, so you can see it, but it's a scrappy pillow. If it was a silk pillow, I would have had to do hand stitching. It's just a scrappy, cute little pillow. I love it. I absolutely love it. Okay, so I want to put a couple buttons on this, and I made some buttons a while ago in another video, I believe. And I think I'm going to go with the bigger size. So I just have to decide. That one looks nice there. That one looks nice there. Let's see. Or they're all cute, so I'm not going to get too crazy. This one I think pops more on that side. So, oh, got some loose threads. I have a feeling this pillow is always going to have some loose threads, but that's okay. All right, so now I want to add my button, and there's a little trick to doing this. I usually make my pillows, I put a form in them, and this is now filled with lycra spandex scraps, so I wonder how this is going to go through with I have my long needle, which is going to help me immensely. So, and I also am using a strong top stitching thread. It's a Gutterman thread, but it's a top stitching. It's very strong, which is what you want for this process because you need to tie it and you need to pull. So I am going to thread my needle. Hopefully I can do that. I'm going to tie a knot in the end. Maybe just do a double knot. Okay, that'll do. And now I want to go through the center. I have my center marked here. It was where my little pin went in. So I'm just going to, as I take that out, I'm going to put that in. Get myself some room. I'm knocking everything over. And now I want to do my best to come through the other side. Hopefully where I can feel it. I guess it doesn't have to be perfect. And I can feel it coming through. Okay. All right, so I'm pretty close. Oh, I'm very close. So I am going to pull this through. And now I can remove my other little marker. Set those aside. And now I want to take my button, and I'm leaving the tail. So this is important. You want to have this going through on each side with the tail. So make sure you leave your tail. And then I'm going to take this button and come back through, not the same hole, but as close as I can get. And now I want to try to get back again through to where my thread is coming out here. So So let me see if I can do that. As I said, the Lycra, there we go. So that's coming out pretty darn close. So that's good. So now I'm going to pull that through and try not to get tangled. All right. So now I have my button there. Looks pretty centered. Looks cute. And now I want to put my other button on. That's good. And now I'm going to remove my needle, and I have a nice long tail. And now I want to do just a couple times over so I have the ability to make it taut. And I'm pushing down to give it a little bit of a effect of plushness. And I'm just going to continue to do another set. I'm going to try to do another set of just an overhand knot here. Oh, wow. I guess that thread was not as strong as I had hoped. Well, we'll hope for the best. I can always redo it. So I just broke my thread, but it's tied in there. We'll see how it goes. Just make sure it's not near a little kid that's going to pull off the button, of course, because you don't ever want that. But how cute is that? I love it. It's adorable. That was a super fun, easy project. I got to use some more of my larger scraps, not my strips. So sweet. And I got to put a button on. Oh, so adorable. I'm definitely going to put that on my bed, though, because I just don't want it to get involved with any young people. I don't have any infants in my life, so it's pretty safe at the moment. But I just don't want someone pulling that off, because I thought this thread was pretty strong. So I would use maybe even a nylon thread that I have for my industrial sewing machine so that it didn't break and I could really get that on there. But of course, we know buttons are not good for young people anyway. Just a little dangerous, so we don't want that. I love how it came out. It is so beautiful. It's just so fun. I love it. I don't know which side I like better, but I can flip it back and forth and just love it. So really fun, easy project. The button was fun to put on. I definitely want to make another one of these too. And I had some fun doing my free motion. Just an all-round relaxing, really enjoyable experience. I hope you guys got something out of the video. And if you did, please give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. And I am having just such a blast here doing these videos. So I'm going to keep on going along. And I really appreciate the support. Until next time, have fun out there. Bye.